Hi everyone, Adarsh here. So this is a continuation of the previous video tutorial where I was talking about JDK8 Lambda expression. So we already have discussed a couple of use case, and here the fourth use case where we have interface which doesn't accept any argument, but it has some return type, and based that return type we need to that return type is a result of the processing which it has a specific implementation. So for these sort of use cases, how we can write a lambda expression. So this is what the use case which I am talking about. It doesn't have any parameters, but it is returning a value. So let's get into the code and see how it looks like. So I'm having a my work interface which has a single method do work which doesn't accept any argument, but it is returning some generic parameter. So I'm having a work executor class which has a job of start the work on the work on the implementation of my work interface. So it has a single method which is execute work, and it has a return type, generic return type, and it accept the instance of implementation of my work interface, and it will call my work on that object. It's gonna call do work method, and it return the output of that to the caller. So take example when we don't have a facility of using lambda. So basically I'm talking about before JDK 1.8. So what we need to do, we need to create an instance of work executor, and then we need to call the method execute work. It is returning integer type. Why it is returning an integer type? Because I have binded this instance with the integer in the generic. So that's why I'm sure that it's gonna return the integer data type. So this I'm capturing a return type value here, and then I'm just calling a execute work method on the work executor instance. And what I have done as a parameter, I have just passed the anonymous implementation of my work interface binded with the integer data type, and this is the implementation which I have done. So implementation for do work method, which it return an integer data type, and what I'm just doing, I'm just returning an integer dot max value from that, and whatever the value is returned by this method gonna come returned by work executor, and it gonna captured in this variable, and I'm just printing that variable. So if I just execute this piece of code, I'm gonna get the integer dot max as a which is 2147483647. So this is the case when we don't have facility of using lambda expression. So in this case, what's special, it's just returning a value, but it doesn't accepting any formal parameters. But same sort of thing, how we can just write in the lambda expression, let's see. So what we have done here, we have just created an instance of work executor binded with the integer data type here, and then what we have done, we are just calling a execute work method on the instance of work executor, and this is a lambda expression. This is a lambda expression for my work. So what we have done basically here, we have a multi-line statement here where we have execution started, execution end, and then we are returning a value to the caller, and then that value we are capturing in the integer data type because we have binded it to integer data type, and then we are just printing that data. So if I just execute this piece of code, it gonna print three statements: execution start, execution end, and then what is a return type. So basically what we have done here, you can see there is a empty open close parenthesis, which means that method doesn't accept any argument. So if you see here, do work method doesn't accept any argument, that's why it is a empty, and this is a do implementation for do work method. So same sort of thing, how we can just write into another way. So what we have done here, this is not a valid because it's a duplicate. So same sort of thing, like suppose instead of multi-line we have a single line statement here. So what we can do, we can just write into the we have just created an instance of work executor, and then on the instance of work executor we are calling execute work method, and we are passing a lambda expression. And so this is a open close curly braces and arrow, and this is a implementation for the body where we have returning integer dot max value to the caller, and which is captured by the return value by lambda expression variable, and we are just printing this statement. So I'm gonna show you the multiple combinations of that. This is a single line statement, so here the return value which is printed by here. Then if we talk about okay, these are repetition. These are the repetition of that. And if you see the single line statement, what we have done, we have just created an instance of work executor here. On the work executor we are calling execute work method, and this is a open close parenthesis for lambda expression. This is a arrow, and what we have done without any curly braces or anything, we have just returning a integer dot max value here. So what it means, that it has only one line statement inside the implementation body, and that this is the value which it is returning from the method body, which is captured in the return value by lambda expression, and it gonna print that. So let's execute this piece of code and see how it looks like. So there is no difference in the result, you can see, only the way of writing is different. So like I have skipped this return statement as well as the curly braces also if we have a single line statement. So the next use case where we need to talk about, which is single argument and return single and the return value, and then after that we have a multiple input values but no return type, and multiple input values and return type. So that these three combinations are also left. So I'll come up with these things I am gonna explain you in my coming tutorials. Till then, take care, bye.